Good day, everyone.
I was born and raised in Detroit. Growing up there, I saw people like me running things.
This is a courtroom, not a circus, so we're going to calm down.
I'm sorry.
What I found there was a passion that I didn't know existed.
This is the bottom line.
I'm excited to free fall into the limitless possibilities with we the people. So many are fearful of the law. They think it's something that works against them.
I think you need to begin to accept responsibility for your mistakes.
We are the people.
Serena Cox claims her brother ruined a romantic evening she had planned by scaring her date away. Bruce Cox says he was doing his sister a favor as her date from the mailroom had a bad reputation.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello. Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Cox versus Cox. Ms. Cox, you are suing your brother, Mr. Cox, for ruining your romantic date. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Cox, you just say you are a protective brother and just doing what you're supposed to do.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Let's start from the beginning, Ms. Cox. What date is this? Who was this date with?
So, Your Honor, my date, Mr. River, I've been having my eye on him for months, and he finally said yes to a date. So.
Oh, you asked him out?
Yeah, I asked him out.
And you had him, an eye on him where?
Well, he works in the mailroom where I work at. I work in the C-suite, so.
He's a mail boy.
Your Honor, can I finish?
All right, so you work at a company. He works in the mailroom.
Yes.
You've been having your eye on him, and you ask him out.
Yes, so I asked him out, and he says yes, so I planned a date. That's how I got my job. I planned things, so I planned the whole date out, and it was completely ruined by my brother.
All right, so tell me what the date entailed.
Well, we're getting on the train. I spot my brother Bruce, and he gets on the train with us. So he come along with us, and he's talking.
How does your brother even know you're going on a date?
Exactly. He came out of nowhere. He comes out of nowhere. He spots me, I spot him. He comes out of nowhere. Now he's on the train with us, right? And he's all on my date like, hey son, let me talk to my sis. And makes my date sit across from me.
How did you know where the date, how did you know anything, Mr. Cox?
This is purely coincidental. I was just going home, and I spot my sister on a train with this Steve Urkel looking guy.
Don't do that.
And that's pretty much how it happened. I do not know this guy. I mean, I know of him. His name is in the street as, you know, he's a player. You know, he's a macaroni guy. He's Don Juan.
A macaroni guy?
Yeah, he's the macaroni guy. He's Don Juan. He's slick with the tongue.
Oh, like a Mac and
he's
girl.
a Mac, yeah.
Oh, all right. So what'd you say?
I just said, you know, I asked Mr. Mailroom here to slide over so I can talk to my sister. And I kind of let her know that this guy's a player, and I just try to warn her, look out for her.
That's how you asked me to move over?
So when you saw him, you were like, oh, I don't want my sister with him.
Absolutely.
All right. And so, Ms. Cox, when he says something to you about your date, what do you say back?
See, that's the thing. My brother, he's always been looking out for me. He's always been taking care of me. So it's like, I said okay just to shut him up because he will not be quiet. He's going to keep talking until he gets his point across.
All right, and then what happened? You're on the train. Does your brother keep going with you, or do you get off the train and proceed on the date that you've planned?
Yes, we get off the train very shortly, and Bruce is following us to the restaurant that we go to. So now we have this third wheel. We go into the restaurant, and keep in mind, I already pre-reserved the spot, I pre-reserved the food. So, you know, yes, everything is pre-reserved, but so we get to the spot, and my date, you know, he's all in my date's face, and my date ends up asking to go to the bathroom, and he never comes back. And now I got Bruce in my face like, see sis, that's why you didn't need him, like telling me that.
So your date, who is your witness today, ended up saying, okay, well, I want to hear from him directly. Please stand, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, Mr. Mailroom.
Step up to the podium. You've been
Your Honor.
sworn in already. State your name for the court.
Your Honor, my name is River Wilkins.
All right, Mr. Wilkins, so Ms. Cox asked you out on a date. You all work at the same place.
Yes, ma'am.
You all get on the train, get ready to go on a date, and then you see Mr. Cox, or Mr. Cox comes up to you all. Have you ever seen Mr. Cox before?
No, I've never seen him before.
Do you know him?
I've heard about him because, like she said, you know, she said she had her eye on me, but I also had my eyes on her. I just had no idea she would
Your Honor,
ever
how can
come
you
up.
see her from the mailroom?
See?
Are you serious?
See?
That's easy.
Right.
That's easy to do. You being condescending now. Once Mr. Cox, confronts you, what happens after that?
Well, it started on the train when he first confronted me saying, well, he said that, hey, move over, let me talk to my sis. He said he was like, move over, little boy, let me talk to my sister. And my reaction was, I want to show her that I'm not flustered or I won't let anybody make me feel uncomfortable, so I just moved over.
So you never said a word. Did you ever tell Ms. Cox what he's saying isn't true? Or Ms. Cox, did you ever say, hey, is what my brother's saying true?
I didn't believe him.
All right, so both of you all just blew it off.
Coming up,
I asked him a couple questions. That's it.
Yeah, he asked me 2 questions, all right. He asked me the last time I had sex in my longest relationship, which is crazy.
I mean, I think
On
those
the
are fair
first
questions.
date?
She hasn't even asked me yet.
Those are fair
I don't
questions,
care,
Your
as long as
Honor.
you're clean.
and later,
He's not on business meetings. He's going out on dates. So he's
So
also...
you're saying now he's taking advantage of your friend and she's working and paying all the bills after he made her quit her good job.
we're back with the case of Serena Cox, who brought her brother Bruce Cox to court for ruining her date.
So you get off the train and then what happens?
So we get off the train, and now I got my brother following us. So it's like, okay, here we go. He following us. I guess he's gonna be a third wheel. I mean, I can't really do too
Your Honor,
much.
I just didn't follow them there. They're painting this whole picture like I'm stalking them, and I just interjected myself. That's not what happened at all.
Oh, were you
She
there?
asked
And
me
if
to
so,
go.
how?
Yes, Your Honor, I was there.
Coincidentally.
And how did you get there?
I went in the train. She asked me to pretty much go with her.
Did you ask your brother to go with you, Miss Cox?
Absolutely not.
Your
I did
Honor,
not.
She asked me to go with her because she figured if I would go, he would be intimidated and he would leave. And that way, she didn't want to have to waste her time.
He was thinking all of that in his head. That whole conversation was all in his head.
So you decided to go to dinner. Did he sit at the table with you?
He did. He sat at the table,
Your
made
Honor,
my
would I
date sit
come
across
from
from
work?
me.
Why would I come from work to then go on a date with my sister and Mr. Melrose?
That's what we want to know.
Right.
Because you were there.
She asked me to be there, Your Honor.
All right, and so you then took it upon yourself to scare him away to the point where he goes to the restroom and never comes back.
I wasn't scared.
All I asked him was a couple of questions, Your Honor. I asked him a couple questions. That's it.
Yeah, he asked me 2 questions, all right. He asked me the last time I had sex in my longest relationship, which is crazy.
I mean, I think
On
those
the
are fair
first
questions.
date?
She hasn't even asked me yet.
Those are fair questions,
care,
Your
as long as
Honor.
you're clean.
Those are
All
fair
right,
questions.
so you on everybody's nerves, Mr. Cox. How does this end? He leaves, and then what happens between you and
So,
your brother?
Now I'm having a date with my brother. And I love my brother to death.
He left because he didn't have any money to pay for the date. You
I
see,
already paid for it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I already paid for it.
Why
So
couldn't
wait,
you, why
hold
couldn't
on now. You're at dinner. You're suing for $1,297. That's an expensive date. Do you have any
Exactly, Your
evidence as to
I
what
do.
you paid for?
I do.
I mean,
It
that's
wasn't
an
just a-
expensive
it wasn't
first
just a
date.
dinner, Your Honor.
Your evidence here.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
It wasn't just a dinner. It was Jill Scott tickets. It was a dinner. And if things went as planned, let's just say I had a little surprise at the Sweet Hotel downtown North Philly.
Hotel? What you mean hotel?
Yeah, the hotel.
You
yeah,
had-
the hotel. I'm grown.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
It ain't no
you had
hotel.
Trifecta going. You was ready.
Oh, no.
See, that's
No,
what-
she wasn't, Your Honor. She was
Yes,
not ready.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
No, you wasn't ready. That's the problem. That's what we know is you not ready.
She grown.
So you got the concert tickets, $250 each.
Mm-hmm.
Dinner was $388.
Mm-hmm.
$500 for concert tickets and $409 for this hotel. Now, did this hotel that you got, did you get it where you could cancel it if you cancel before a certain time, or did you get it so that you paid for it in advance and got the better rate? Because I know you can do that.
You only could cancel it within 24 hours. So, yeah.
It was gonna be
So
canceled
It was
anyway.
too late. No, it
was
wasn't.
gonna be canceled
You didn't even
anyway.
know about
All right.
it.
It was gonna be
You mad?
canceled.
You mad?
Did you take your brother to see Jill Scott?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
So you and your brother went to see Jill Scott,
Yes.
and you just lost the money on the hotel.
Yes, everything was already paid for. It's not like I can just, cancel the tickets. It was last minute.
Well, since Mr. Mailroom / Mac Daddy left, I mean, I had to eat. She had to eat. I thought we were having a great time.
Oh, you the one who ate
All
most
right.
of the food.
I don't get it.
Mr. Cox, it is obvious from the smirk on your face and just from the way that you want to throw little digs at Mr. Wilkins that you just didn't want your baby sister to go out on a date with someone that you had heard bad things about, but they were just rumors. You had no idea. For all intents and purposes, Mr. Wilkins was ready, willing, and prepared to at least go to dinner and go to the concert, maybe even the hotel. But your brother interfered with that. So, Ms. Cox, I am going to award you the money for dinner because your brother sat up there and ate, and you agreed to take your co-worker to dinner. That's $388, and I'm going to award you the $250 because he went to see Jill Scott with you and should have paid for his own ticket because your date could not go. I'm not going to award you your ticket price because you actually did go to the concert.
He's scared off my date, Your Honor.
I know he's scared off your date. Now, if you had gone home and lost out on the concert, I might have awarded you the entire $500, but you went to the concert, and I've seen Jill Scott before, honey. She puts on a great show, so you enjoyed yourself, even with your date gone. Now, as for the hotel, you only pay for a hotel up front when you know you're showing up. In this instance, there was no guarantee that Mr. Wilkins was really going to go to the hotel or that the date was going to go well enough that you even wanted to go to that hotel. So I'm not going to award you the money for the hotel. Judgment for the plaintiff for $638. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $638.
All right, you can go ahead and have your little mailroom man. You know, that's fine. You know.
That's okay.
But he
600
should be
is just
man
enough for another
enough.
suite.
He should be man enough to pay for the date and whatever you guys decide to do.
That's fine.
I'm paying for the next 10 dates, so don't even worry about it.
All right,
You
it's
don't
gonna be
have to worry
expensive.
about
You
it.
want to get your new job there, Mailroom.
Coming up,
So it came to a point where she believed she was pregnant, and she came to him with this news, and he accused her of infidelity when he is the one committing infidelity.
Christy Petra claims she bought a plane ticket to help her friend leave her predatory boyfriend, but she never did. Helena West says her friend's gesture was a gift, so she could decide whether or not she wanted to use it.
Good day, everyone. Good day. This is the case of Petra versus West. Miss Petra, you are suing Miss West for $1,398 for the cost of a plane ticket. Is that correct?
Correct.
And Ms. West, you say that ticket was a gift.
Correct.
All right, I'll start with you, Miss Petra. What happened?
She met this guy named Liam. Liam, in a word, is literally the worst. He's a predatory older man. He's more than 20 years older than Helena, Your Honor. He convinced her to leave her stable, good job that would lead to help promote her dreams in the music field to join a music marketing company that he created.
All right, Ms. West, you were dating an older man. Did you quit your job?
Yeah, I quit my job to help Liam. We were gonna start a music marketing business together, and he told me that I just needed to help him, and we were gonna be really successful.
They went under. They lost all their money, and they were living together as a couple at that time.
Was it a made-up company or was it just an unsuccessful company?
An unsuccessful company.
So it didn't work?
It didn't work, but Liam is out networking currently in Miami. And, you know, he's finding the connections, and we're gonna make it work.
This is the problem, Your Honor. They don't have any money, yet he's out on a yacht in Miami. Like, he's clearly taking advantage. While he's gone, he's forcing her to work all the time, multiple extraneous hours to try to pay for both of them. In Miami, he's not on business meetings. He's going out on dates. So he's also...
you're saying now he's taking advantage of your friend and she's working and paying all the bills after he made her quit her good job.
Exactly.
Coming up,
Why did you leave that part out?
I went to visit his family, and they weren't very accepting of me.
closed captioning provided by... We're back with a dispute between Christy Petra and her friend Helena West over the cost of a plane ticket.
So it came to a point where she believed she was pregnant, and she came to him with this news, and he accused her of infidelity when he is the one committing infidelity. She needs to get out of that situation. Yes, so it's the holidays. I'm in a different place. She's alone. I say, here, if you make me a promise, you will leave him. I will buy you this ticket last minute so you can go to Pennsylvania and be with your family for the holidays. We'll get you back on your feet, find you a job, and start your life fresh.
When she offers you the plane ticket but says, now, if you take this plane ticket, you got to leave this man alone, you said okay?
Well, I don't really remember because it was such a blur. I was really emotional. I was crying. I was a wreck. And
now, why were you emotional and crying and a wreck?
Well, I had just told Liam that I thought I was pregnant with his baby, and that's when he accused me of going out and seeing other guys. And
so he said he didn't think it was his?
Yeah, he said.
All right. So for you, Miss Petra, that was the last straw.
Absolutely. She was crying. She was desperate, heartbroken. I couldn't stand it.
Can you please hand me any evidence you may have?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
I'll take them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any evidence to present to the court, Ms. West?
No.
Nothing. Okay. So this is the plane ticket for $1,398 going to Philly Airport. So you all had an exchange. I see you presented here, Ms. Petra. Ms. West, you said you didn't know what to do, that Liam basically kicked you out of his family home. Why did you leave that part out?
Well, that was back over the other weekend when I went to visit his family and they weren't very accepting of me.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns. Promotional consideration provided by...
So then Ms. Petra says, all right, I'll get you out of there. I can get you a flight home now, but you have to promise you won't go back to that loser. Please, yes, you tell her, yes, I will do that. I'll promise that. Send your flight information and I'll do it. And then she booked the flight. All right, so gifts are usually not revocable. Conditional gifts are something else. It's obvious from this writing that you agreed, hey, if you buy me this ticket to go back home, I am going to leave this man alone. It's plain as day. You did not fulfill your end of that bargain because you're back with him, right? Yes, you owe your girlfriend $1,398 for the plane ticket. Judgment for the plaintiff for $1,398. Court is adjourned.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant owes $1,398.
See, Helena, I told you, stand up for yourself. I love you. I care for you.
Why do you always act like I owe you something?
You know he's toxic. You know it. Believe in yourself.